shoot. Yeah, yeah. Now watch the follow through. Yeah, yeah. Time to watch all my moves. Yeah, yeah. Highlights on the news. Yeah, yeah. Ain't never come a second, cause I got too much to lose. I stay on my grind and you keep doing you. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. Pressure's on the way.
All right, it's your boy AWOL with another episode of the HoopGoon podcast. I got my man Mike Creppy on the line, on the phone, however you want to call it. But I got my man Mike Creppy on the line. What's up, Mike? How's it going, brother?
Aramis, I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Good, good, good. Yeah, you giving out my government name, man. Most people know just Wall, but I'll take it. I
No,
like.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I'm in this professional mind space right now. So
I
yeah,
get it.
but yeah, they call you Wall.
Yeah, but it's okay. I like Aramis too, man. That's
Okay.
yeah. Let me not get myself in trouble. But yeah, just AWOL. But either one,
Okay. All
I'm
right.
just messing with you, man. You always call me Aramis, and I'm cool with it. I'm just
Yeah.
joking around in there. But man, Mike Creppy. For people that don't know about you, I need you to go ahead and tell them about yourself. I know a lot about you. You're a killer on the court. That's all I need to know. Do I want to guard you? Maybe not. Maybe not. But
Yeah.
hey, as you know, hey, go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you from, and what you got going on there, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. How's everybody doing? I'm out there. Um, like AWOL said, my name is Mike Creppy. I'm from the DMV, Maryland to be specific. Went to Good Counsel High School, Blake High School in Montgomery County, two powerhouse private and public schools. Went on to play at UC Riverside, NCAA Division One. Then I've been playing overseas for the past 10 years. I've played in Greece, Denmark, the UK, Portugal, Czech Republic, Germany, and China as well. And so, I'm well traveled. I have a wealth of knowledge, not only from the AU circuit. I played with the DC Blue Devils on the Nike circuit. Obviously I played D1 and then I've been playing pro. So, I've been utilizing my expertise to basically help the game grow in whatever aspect I can. And as I was looking at how I wanted to invest my money, I decided to invest into overseas basketball because I was noticing something that me and a lot of my other friends in the industry didn't have, which was education and guidance as we left school. And I've had guys who played in the ACC, who got drafted, who played in the Final Four, and we all had the same narrative. Nobody taught us what to expect. And in the DMV, we have everybody knows is world renowned for basketball. A lot of killers come out of there, and if you make it out of there, then you one of those guys, and you can play anywhere. But what we also noticed was that the older guys that we were around didn't really give us the game. They gave the game to the guys who didn't need the game. So if you had the cloud, if you had that infrastructure already, then they would latch on to you and put you under their wing. But for the other guys, they didn't do that. And so, I made a promise to God that if I was ever in that position, that would never be me. So in 2017, I wrote the first and only book to educate and advise players on the business of overseas basketball, entitled "The Guideline to a Successful Basketball Career Overseas." And that got rave reviews. ESPN The Undefeated featured me. And everything took off from there because when you typed in overseas basketball, my article came up. So as a result, I was able to get contacts with a lot of GMs and owners in different markets around the world, even markets in which I didn't play. So my market, my network is really strong in the markets that I played because I maintain good relationships with the players, with the GMs, and the people of the community. Because what people don't know is when you go to a lot of these countries, you don't always play in a major city.
Right.
I was fortunate, in China, I lived in Shanghai my first year. And then in Greece, I lived in Athens when I played in Greece. But all those other years, I was playing in towns. And you're the NBA team for that town. So, people, you're easily recognizable. So I always advise young guys to embrace the culture because fast forward, you'll have a network of people in different parts of the world, and having a global network is priceless. Especially when you're doing business in sports. And so I started that, and then I subsequently started my company, Vindicated Sports, LLC, consulting firm. But primarily what we do is we create opportunities for players. So we take players to these different markets because what we found is that it's more likely for a team to sign a player if they see them, if they get to talk with them, if they have lunch with them, have dinner with them on a tour, than
Yep.
if we just send film like all the other agents and players are doing. So, fortunately, we've been able to have such strong relationships that we can go into these leagues a month or two before the season starts, play against their local players, and have them just choose the inputs that they want before everybody else gets to them. And I don't have a problem talking about that, because if people could do what I was doing, they would have been doing it. And so,
Hello.
I feel really strongly about our infrastructure and what we have. And we have a good group of people. We have a great media team in Swishology. I advise everybody that's in basketball, from youth, college, high school, semi-pro, to tap in with them, because not only did they play basketball overseas, Brandon Holcomb is the founder of Swishology. He played basketball overseas. He played D1 at Radford, and he has an eye for basketball because of his expertise. So when he comes with us, I don't have to micromanage. He knows what to shoot, and then we collaborate creatively on how we want to package it. And his editing skills are top of the line. So if you guys go to our page at vindicated _sports on Instagram, you'll see we capture every day of our tours. So we had Mexico last month. We had 4 players signed in the LBE Chihuahua League bubble, which was major because that league only had 6 teams this year because of COVID. The other 6 teams backed out. So to have 4 players signed in a league with only 6 teams is pretty major. And so they all came on the tour. They played well. The coaches were upfront with us about what they wanted, and they followed through. So that's what we do before we go on these tours. We make sure the teams are actively recruiting. We don't just take players over there to have an exhibition game and have an experience. We take guys over there that are looking to get signed. And see, that's what separates us from everybody else in this space, because I'm a player. I still play. I might go play in Japan this year, upcoming September. Okay. Yeah, I just came back from the gym. I trained. We got back from the DR last night. I'm in the gym 2 days today. So, and then I handle my business in the evening time.
Man.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, people.
So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, my fault there, Mike. Yeah, people don't understand the work it goes in on a pro level, and I don't mean just NBA. I mean the pro level. There are pro levels like yourself that, like you said, you just got back last night. That's a wear and tear on your body, and you were probably up before you got on the plane. Then you went to the gym because you're trying to train and be in shape for the next level. And like you said, in Japan, probably gonna be on a plane. That's tough. It's tough. I mean, real tough. I went and played a little exhibition game, just a pickup game between some guys. And we didn't even do 12-minute quarters. It was 10-minute quarters. And I had to get on the plane a little bit later. And I was like, man, is this how it feels? Like, and that was just one time and I was tired. So I feel it. I feel it.
I mean, like, one thing I always tell guys is when you play ball overseas from a playing aspect now, switching over from the business side, you have to love the game. Like, you literally have to love the game, because you're gonna be playing basketball all the time. And basketball, like I said before, if you're in a small city, it's not much to do. Basketball might be the highlight of your day.
Right.
And so if you're going over there for the lifestyle and the allure of playing overseas, then you're gonna be miserable, even if you're making good money. And I have a lot of guys, they're making good money and they're just miserable over there because they needed that extracurricular lifestyle. And for me, I'm social, but at the end of the day, as long as my money's on time and I have Wi-Fi, I'm cool. And I love practice,
Right.
like for real. I'm a low maintenance when it comes to that, because I'm out there for work, and it's a job that I love. It's something that I prayed for and I train hard for. So I'm not going to go over there and mess that up for anything.
Correct.
And so, I always encourage a lot of young guys to make sure you love the game. And that's what these tours do too. You go over there for 6 days, we play 5 games in 5 days, and you really get a sense of, is this for me? Switch, and we go to different cities too. So we'll go play 3 games in one city, get a charter bus, go to the next city, eating on the road, you don't know the language, you don't know the culture. And so you're literally out of your comfort zone. So it gives guys a reality check. Some guys, it lets them know, okay, this is for me. Some guys are like, okay, well, this is not for me.
This ain't what I thought.
Yeah.
Right.
But people see only the glamorous stuff. It's like Instagram. They only post the stuff. We traveling all these places, the fans giving us crazy love. But they don't see the 2-a-day practices, sometimes the practice after a game, all of that stuff, getting on the plane, getting 4 or 5 hour bus rides, inadequate training staffs. You might have to buy frozen vegetables from the grocery store to ice your knees. Like seriously, like no, that's a reality.
Right.
That's real. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
I know I've been talking.
No, man, it's good. You know what though? I like for our viewers to talk, because for some of our viewers who want to be pro players and they're still at home in the States or wherever, and they're not getting there. This is good for them to understand. Like, oh wait, I didn't know that. Like that. And right now they can make a decision, as opposed to wasting somebody like your time or somebody else doing tours to say, you know what, nah, I'm good. I'd rather just stay home, etc. So yeah, I'm okay with that, man. But I want to ask a few questions, man. So like you said, you was at UC Riverside and everything. And so how was it that you became to get well known to go ahead and get overseas to play ball? How did that whole process come about for you?
Well, my journey to overseas basketball was for I'm an author, so I'm gonna use a big word here. I took a circuitous route. I took the road less traveled.
Right.
Ideally, I would have liked to have a great 4-year Division I career. Agents knocking down my door, putting me in good markets. That's the conventional way. But that wasn't the case for me. My junior year of college, I was in a fatal car accident. A passenger in a fatal car accident. My teammate that was driving, he died. Another girl who was in the car with us, she died the next day.
Oh wow.
And so I separated my shoulder and broke my foot. It's in the LA Times. If you Google my name, the article comes up. But from there it was a major setback because I was in the best shape of my life, and I was ready. I was ready to take that next step. But God had other plans. He allowed that to happen. And I'm fortunate that I was able and blessed to survive that, because my perspective shifted in that moment. I was much more appreciative of things. I hardly ever complained. And then the fact that I wasn't paralyzed or anything like that just let me know I still had work to do in this game. So, it took me a while to get back. I didn't get back into the rotation until conference play of my senior year. And because of that, my stats weren't what they should have been. And so when you get recruited to play overseas, and this is another thing young players need to know, it has nothing to do with your game. Like, I was a pro player. I've been a pro player in terms of my work ethic, my dedication, my discipline, and those things. I've been a pro since I was probably 14, 13. I was always in the gym. I was always focused. I still haven't taken a drink to this day. It's just not me. And I was always like that. And so, but according to my profile, my stats weren't what these guys were looking for. So I went to camps. I went to showcases. I was blessed. My father is a federal judge. My mother's an English professor. So I had some resources where they gave me a little bit of rope to say, hey, look, all right, you can chase this a little bit, but if not, you're going to law school or something like that. I heard that my whole life.
Right.
But they didn't understand, like, this was what God put in me, and I loved it. And so I was going to do what I had to do to get on. So, obviously I didn't know what camps to go to, what showcases were legit. So I wasted money, went to some money grabs and things like that. But one thing that happened was I was talking to my mother, and she's from the Caribbean, and she was telling me she had a UK passport. And I've known my mother my whole life. I come from a 2-parent household. And it wasn't until 2009 that I found out she had this passport. And back then, this is 2009, the UK was a part of the EU. So that meant I can play as a local player, a national player, all throughout Europe, all the countries that played in the EU. So that's almost every major market in Europe. So once I got that, that's when a lot of teams started showing interest in me, because now I don't count against the quotas for imports.
Right.
Because each country is a certain amount of imports you allow per team.
Correct.
And so they're getting an American player, but I don't count against the quota. Correct. So it was like gold for me at that time. Now it's not as big anymore. It still helps, but it's not as big as it was 10, 11 years ago. But so that allowed me to go to the UK top division in the UK, BBL, with the Worcester Wolves. And I played there, started point guard there, finished top 10 in assists. And then agents, once I had some FIBA stats, agents started to want to work with me because they saw money. If an agent will only sign you if they think they're going to get paid.
Correct.
And
makes sense. Right.
Yeah, but a lot of players don't know this. A lot of agents that are unethical, and some of them who are fake agents, are asking guys, hey, pay me this amount of money and I'll do this for you. I'll get you to Spain. And players have to be real with themselves. If you average 5 points a game at a Division III school, you're not going to play in first division Spain your rookie year, getting $80,000 a year.
Right.
So, I mean, a month. So it's like if somebody's saying pay me $5,000, you get this contract, it's a scam. Because one, your agent will never ask you for money. And then two, you have to be real with yourself about where you are in the market. So I said all that to say, you know, that's how I got started. You know, it wasn't until that passport really opened up the door for me. It was a blessing from God, to be honest, because I didn't know I could even get it until 2009. But after that, once you get on, then whatever you did in college doesn't even matter.
That's what's up, Mike. Man,
Yeah.
you giving people gold nuggets that they don't even know. They definitely need to. Woo, they should thank you.
But that's why I'm in this space, doing what I'm doing off the court, because I feel like there are more guys like me that should be talking to these guys because we've actually done it. The people that are actually running this industry of camps and showcases and tours and opportunities, a lot of them haven't done it on the highest level. And one, they haven't done it on the highest level, so they can't relate to what you're going through. And then two, they're looking to get money first instead of helping you. I'm the opposite way. My business model is to see how many players we can get signed under our umbrella and present that to different sponsorships and companies so they can sponsor our events. Because at the end of the day, we want the players to come and get quality looks, but without having to pay arm and a leg to get there.
Right.
So right now, we obviously have to charge you because we're not sponsored right now and things like that. But we also give a big, bold letter disclaimer telling players, if you're not in shape, if your game is not right, wait till you are and come to our next event. We don't want you coming just because you have the money.
Right.
Because we want to make sure you get something out of this. And so, you know, we're doing a lot of things that, you know, business people would tell you not to do. If somebody has money and they want your services, you let them pay. But this matters to me. It's not like a regular business for me. This is something that I feel like is a purpose of mine, and it's bigger than money.
Right. And that makes sense, man. Like for because there are a lot of companies out here that will just say, or people, not companies. There might not even be a company, just be people and saying, like you said, hey, pay me. And you're going the ethical route about it and just saying, hey, you know, no, I'd rather for you to wait so you can come back again. And that's the way you do business, because people got to understand the longevity of business, not let me get that money right now. Hey, you know what? No, I'm better off to serve you like this. I'd rather for you to wait. I'm not worried about the money. When you don't have dollar signs in your eyes, your foundation will build the correct way. And that's what's up, man. I definitely applaud you for what you're doing. Somebody from the DMV, that's evidently a tough player, because there's a lot of tough players out of the DMV area. So who'd you say was a professor? Your mother?
My mother, English professor and public speaking.
So that's where the word securitas.
Securitas.
Securitas. Let me look that up here. No, I'll look it up. I'll look it up later.
I had a unique upbringing. I didn't have to play basketball. I literally could have been anything. You know, my uncle was a cardiologist. You know, so like I was around doctors and lawyers, and I had a different perspective than a lot of people that I played ball with.
Right.
You know, because I was one of those guys that I went to private school my whole life, but I could also get a scholarship to go there because I was good enough to get a scholarship, but I could also afford to pay. And so, you know, I was in that space where I was like the regular students that went to the school, but I was also a part of the basketball guys.
Right.
And so, you know, I was in two worlds. So, you know, it was an interesting upbringing, to be honest.
This is a good side to see about you, Mike, man. I've been knowing you for a few years now, man. And a lot of this stuff, I mean, I knew you was a good guy as far as the history lesson about some stuff. Didn't know about you, but that's what's up, man. And yeah, of course.
It's my parents, man. You know, I got to show them love. You know, my dad, he was the first Black chief immigration judge in the history of the U.S. So, you know, like, you know, just seeing that and, you know, how he went into an industry that was, when he got sworn in, he was the only Black person there, obviously. And there was an Asian man, 2 white women, and the rest were white men. About 5 years into when he was a chief immigration judge, where he could actually choose the judges and swear other judges in, there were, you know, 7 other Black guys, you know, more women. He made it really diverse. So that showed me that if you want to change something, you know, you do what you have to do to get to that level, to get a seat at that table. And so that's what I'm doing here, you know, in this industry. You know, God blessed me with the platform and ability to not only play, but have the vision to get in and have the influence to affect this industry. and we're doing it, man. Like our numbers are going up with social media. More people are tapping in with us and hearing about us. You know, I'm pulling up to runs because I still play, and guys are talking about my company to me, asking me if I'm going to my own events, and they don't know I'm the owner of the company. And that's what I want. You know,
Right.
I don't want to be the face of it. I want my brand to speak for itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
hey, speaking about your own events, man. Hey, July 7th through the 9th, 2021, right? Hey,
Hey,
Mike.
listen. It's going like you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Tell us about it, man. I'm
I'm
excited
I'm
myself.
actually, man, I'm excited about it. Not only because you know, it's just another event that we're having. We're providing another quality event, but it's the demographic that we're appealing to. And one thing, you know, obviously I'm a basketball junkie, if you can't tell by now. And so I don't only look at the glamorous basketballs, the NBA, overseas, you know, D1, AU circuit. I'm looking at every basketball market, and the semi-pro market is an industry that really fascinates me. You know, there are a lot of talented guys. I pulled up to a lot of the ABA showcases here in LA where I'm based right now. And there's so many talented guys, so many organizations that are doing it the right way. And they're getting the stigma that a lot of the bad organizations are giving the league. You know, we're not paying players, being disorganized, being unprofessional. So I wanted to utilize my platform and do a showcase for the semi-pro market. And we're doing a $20,000 cash prize tournament July 7th to the 9th here in Los Angeles. $2,000 buy-in. So we tried to make it affordable for the teams to put teams in. And you know, we're going to be streaming it live. We have a broadcast team. Possibly Fox Sports will be there. Our media team, Switch Cultures. Switch Cultures is another great platform, by the way. I know those guys as well. They're doing it the right way as well. But Switchology, they will be there. Every team will get a personal highlight film. And we're just going to give them access to our network. You know, we have a lot of teams and owners that watch our events and follow me on social media, both on my business and personal page. So we want to give these semi-pro markets who, most of them who have told me that they're trying to get exposure for their organization and their players to get real professional opportunities.
Right.
And we feel like we have the platform to do that. And so we want to open that up to the semi-pro market. Registration, the deadline is May 1st for the deposit, and then June 1st for the final payment. And then we're gonna have a bracket, have 32 teams. It's gonna be a great event. It's gonna be really organized. You know, if you can't tell by now, I really take pride in my events, and I don't cut costs for quality. So if it means I got to spend a couple extra $100,000 to provide more quality or accommodations for the teams, that's what I'm going to do. Because like you said, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm trying to do business for a long time. This is something I want to do off the court. So I don't have to have a real job. You know, I want this to be my job. You
I
know,
don't
and
blame you.
so yeah, and so I want to set the foundation now. So when people hear Vindicated Sports, it's synonymous with quality, real opportunities,
Right.
genuine people, and just an all around professional organization.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I'm gonna definitely be out there just to watch. I don't know if I'm a hoop, because those guys, because the talent that's gonna be out there is gonna be crazy. So, if anything, they definitely need to come meet you. Like you said, the networking itself is gonna definitely be worth it, and it don't hurt to go ahead and win 20K at the same time while
You
you hoop.
know, and then that's what I wanted. You know, I could have just had an event and just said, "Hey, you're gonna meet me. I might have a few coaches out there, and you guys just play in front of that." But I'm like, people want something tangible. They want something they can feel, touch, something that's immediate, and we're in a position to do that. And so that's what we're gonna do. Um, you know, the talent level is gonna be nice. And honestly, I find a lot of players just by watching them going to different open gyms and things like that. So whenever I pull up to an open gym, yeah, I'm going there to get my work in, but I'm also scouting at the same time. Like we just
Right.
had one guy, case in point, you see it on my Instagram page, Karen Haywood. Karen, I met him just at a random run here in LA. I saw him the first day and he just jumped off the screen to me. If we were watching it on TV, I'm getting into he's dunking, he's shooting threes, 6'5", can handle the ball. So, you know, I watched him a couple more days because I thought maybe he was a fluke. So every day, just killing the runs, right? So I asked him, you know, what his situation was. And I heard an accent and I detected he was from Australia. So one of my really good partners and people that I do business with is from Australia. And his agency, SIG Sports, We worked together all the time, just talking, and they went live with me during the quarantine just to help guys understand what agents are looking for.
Right.
And so I called him and I asked him, have you heard of this kid? Because he's from Australia and they're really tapped in with the Australian market. And he said, Mike, honestly, we were following him. He was at LSU with Ben Simmons, and then he transferred to UMass. So he was a high-level player. I can already tell that by his game. And then I heard his pedigree, and he said, we were on him. The Clippers were talking to us about him, and we just lost track of him. Well, I said, look, I got him right here. Like,
All right.
like, and so long story short, they ended up signing him to their agency, and he's in good hands because they represent Laurie Markkinen from the Chicago Bulls. They represent a whole bunch of high-level guys. So I said all that to say, I said all that to say, if I'm in the gym, like, and that goes for anybody though. When guys are playing, and I said this on my tour, the moment you step into the gym, you're auditioning. If your goal is to play professional basketball,
right?
Because you never know who's going to see you and who they know,
right?
And so that's why I said, like, you can't wait until you're getting paid to be a professional. For me, like my attention to detail from when I was a kid, like my dad never had to wake me up to go work out. I'm waking him up, take me to the field, let me go run, and so he didn't hesitate buying me the equipment and things I needed or sending me to camps and trainers because he knew I wasn't going to waste his money. And so, like, showing up to class on time, that's all part about being professional. You can't just be a professional in one aspect of life.
Right.
And so all those things, I took pride in my schoolwork, honor roll, all of those things, because I just wanted a lifestyle that was professional. I've been a pro in my mind for a long time. So when I became a pro, it wasn't hard for me to adjust. And so it's not a switch you can turn on and off. So these young guys out here, they need to wake up, because once you get paid and you go overseas, they're going to expect you to be professional. Nobody's going to give you a grace period, because overseas they'll cut you quick and send you home.
Absolutely.
And the only thing worse than not making it is making it and falling off. Because with everything that's going on with social media, as soon as you make it, you post it on your IG story. Everybody's reposting it. So everybody sees it. And then 3 weeks later, you're back home.
You at home.
Now you gotta answer, like, what happened? And that's the worst feeling ever. Yeah. So you gotta do what you gotta do to prepare yourself to not be that guy or that woman, because we help women too. I see you got Maya Moore behind you. We help women just as much. We're getting ready to start to really open up our women's market now that we have the requisite relationships, because that's what we don't want to have events and not have quality, respected owners and teams actively recruiting. So that's why we've held off on doing women's events, because our market our network isn't that strong there, or it wasn't, but now it is. So we're getting ready to start that coming up this summer. But you can't wait to be a pro. I mean, to get paid to be a pro.
That's right. You got to do that now. And that's great advice, man. I love it. I'm literally just soaking it all in. I'm not just saying, I'm soaking it in, and I'm like, yes, like anybody watching this needs to understand and take heed to everything you're saying. Go ahead, buy in, make it happen. If this is something you want to do, a lot of stuff is hard work. Like,
and that's the question. Do you really want to do it? A lot of guys say it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
say the actions say another story.
Yeah. Let me like I said, I didn't understand the hard work, and I was just, I was getting on the plane not to go play somewhere else, but just to go visit, and my body was tired. So I just think about pro players who got to go up, down on the plane, up, down, and play. It's tough, and not just that part, but like everything you're saying, man. So you gave some great advice to a lot of these guys or women watching the HoopGoon podcast, and I definitely appreciate it. Like what you said as far as Maya Moore, we can learn something from everybody. Maya Moore, just one thing I want to add is I read somewhere maybe about 7 years ago where she said she cut dairy out because it helps her recover. And I didn't realize it, right? I remember when I was still in Chicago and everything, I would go play on Saturday mornings, and I come back because I'm a physical player. I come back and pass out on the couch, and they're like, man, maybe I shouldn't be playing so hard. That's why I've been hurting. But when I read her article, she said she cut out dairy, because dairy inflames your joints and the mucus and all that stuff in it. I said, wait a minute, let me try that. Let me cut some cheese out my diet, cut the milk out my diet, see what happened. And sure enough, she was right. Ever since then, I don't hurt. And I'm still hooping at high level, and that lady is awesome herself. So I commend her for even taking the time off to her career, and she wasn't even at the end of her career. She just took off to help someone. I appreciate players like her, yourself, that's helping people, and you got a whole different eye and of seeing the game and seeing how to help people. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
One thing you did,
but you just said something. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no problem.
Hey, but I just want people to realize what you just said. Like that might have gone over some people's head, but I picked up on it because I'm a student too. Like you read something, you didn't just read it, you applied it. You know, a lot of guys or a lot of players, they hear stuff. They're even gonna hear what I'm saying right now. But the ones that really want it, the ones that are going to excel, they're going to apply it and make that change.
Yeah.
You know, because look, you were real with yourself. You acknowledge, okay, I'm doing this. She just said, if I don't do this, then X, Y, Z is going to happen. Let me try it.
Let's try it.
And that takes a humble person to say that. You know, and there's a level of confidence you have to be a pro, but there's also a level of humility that you need to have as well.
Yeah.
And you just touched on it.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and I cut it short because what I actually did, I tried it and I cut out dairy, and then I said, that seemed like it worked. Let me put it back in and see what happened. Put it back in. I was like, oh yeah, that hurts. I took it back out, and I said, okay, she's absolutely right. Yeah, leave that out because that changes, and people don't understand that. But if you want to play, and I want to play till I'm 90. I mean, at a high level too. I don't want to be that old.
Exactly.
Oh man, just pass me the ball so I can shoot. No, I want to be. If I can, I'm crossing you at 90. That's what.
Facts. Big facts. Yeah.
Hey, but you have not given us a way to get in touch with you, email or something to sign up for tournament. How people can sign up to get on overseas tournaments? Tours or whatever. Yeah, how can we get in touch with you, Mike?
Well, one, you can follow our business page. That's where we put everything out on Instagram. So at vindicated, VINDICATED_sports. That's where we are on Instagram. We have a heavy presence on there. We check that all the time. So if you message us there, we will respond. Email mike@vindicatedsports.com. Anybody's interested in the tournament, you know, we've gotten interest from over 30 teams already. And so, like, it's gonna be a high level event. Teams from all over the country are coming. So, if you guys are interested, I don't know if people that I haven't contacted yet have seen what we are doing, are interested in participating in the tournament, please email me at mike@vindicatedsports.com, or if they can contact you and then you can forward them to me, then that's another way, because you're doing a great thing too. I didn't want to end this without acknowledging what you're doing with your league. That's major to have a league. We've seen, I'm not going to speak on anybody's names, but we've seen numerous leagues start and then stop. They go belly up, and so that takes a lot. I do events and things like that, but doing an entire league that can complete from start to finish, that's commendable. You should be applauded for that.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. I do it like you. You just want to see other people exceed and succeed in what they do and excel. That's what I was trying to say. And that's all I want. I just want to make sure it's done right so people can get that proper chance in the league. It's something that if this was around when I was younger and I had somebody to groom me more and say, hey, this is the way you play, this is the way, man, I would have loved it. And the work ethic you talking about, hey, your father didn't have to wake you up. You was up on your own and stuff like that. I was up just to go at 6 a.m. to be at a 6 a.m. hoop session 40 minutes away. And I remember the guy across the street saying, hey, man, if you ain't up, I'll put that horn, I'm leaving you. I made sure I was up by 4 something. I was up. And it was just regular pickup.
Yeah.
It wasn't even to get anywhere. It was just regular pickup ball because of the passion for the game. And I think that starts with
but it mattered enough to you.
Yeah.
It mattered to you.
Yeah.
That's why you got up. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you're doing it for. If it matters to you, you're gonna find a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
And so if you oversleep, if you decide to sleep in and this, that, and the third, then it doesn't really matter to you. And that's okay. There might be something else for you. But don't waste people's time and your own time by thinking this is for you when you're doing everything that's contrary to what you need to do to be successful.
Absolutely, man. One of my guys I was talking to him the other day, there's a guy that's almost 7 foot. He was like, hey, maybe he just might be one day he might be the greatest Chick-fil-A manager. You never know, he might not be a hooper. He might be the greatest.
You got a 7 foot guy? You got a 7 foot guy? You got send him my way. I might have something for him.
All right,
Seriously.
definitely will, man.
Tell him tap in with me. But yeah, no, I mean, if he wants to come, be on one of the teams for the tournament coming up July 7th to the 9th, tell him to come through because we will be scouting guys at this event. I scout guys anywhere. So if it's an event that's organized by me, I'm definitely going to be paying attention to everybody. And I'm hands-on. I don't delegate too much, which is a gift and a curse. So like I'm there, I'm making sure everything is done the way I want it to be done. Right. Which is on a very professional level because I'm a player first. So right. I create my events to the point where I want it to be something that I would want to attend.
Right.
And like you said, like the stuff that I'm doing is because I would have loved somebody to do this for me. Quality events, something that's genuine, something that I can trust, somebody that did it on a high level and now it's reaching back and pulling other guys up.
Yeah,
that's all I wanted. I wasn't asking for handouts. I never asked for money. I never asked for anything. I just asked for opportunity and game. Just give me advice.
Yep.
So I can know how to move. And so that's what I'm doing.
That's what's up, man. I'm proud of you, Mike. Definitely proud of you.
Yeah.
So, hey, again, the deadline for the tournament is when? Because they need to know you ain't playing. When's the deadline?
Well, yeah, registration deadline is May 1st. May 1st. So you can pay 50% deposit, $1,000. The second deposit is due on June 1st. And then after that, you're locked in. The first three teams to register will be getting a number one or two seed in the bracket automatically. So, when we have the first playing game, that's for seeding. So you're going to play the game because everybody's guaranteed at least 3 games. So you're going to play the game, but you're automatically going to have a number 1 seed. And you're going to end up playing the worst team. And we're going to do it by aggregate score. So whoever lost by the biggest margin, obviously is going to get the last seed, and we're going to work it up from there.
That's what's up.
We have a very, very polished system on how we're going to do it. And it's fair more than anything. We don't know anybody. We don't know any of the teams. Nobody's paying us extra to favor them. We're 100% ethical. That's not even something until just now that I even thought about. But, when people see stuff like that, they might think there's some biases and things like that. But I don't know enough people anyway to do that. And I wouldn't jeopardize this event to do that anyway.
Correct.
Because $20,000 is good money. It's a lot of money. So,
hey, if not worse, networking. I mean, if you lose in the tournament, you're around some good people and you can chop it up with Vindicated Sports and see what you can get from there. Outside.
Yeah, we're gonna have agents there. We're gonna have a bunch of people walking around, coming in and out of the event. And so, just make sure you guys are staying professional, win or lose, because somebody's looking at you. You might lose the tournament, but an agent or somebody like myself might see you and you played well. Your team might have lost, but you played well. You might get a deal out of that or an opportunity for a deal.
Never know.
So so the guys, just make sure you guys keep that in mind. And it's not just about 20,000. It's about an opportunity to be seen on a higher level. And that's what we're trying to do.
Love it, Mike. Love it, Mike. Hey, man, definitely appreciate you being on the HoopGoon podcast, man. Hey, we will definitely have your information on the screen so everybody can go ahead and reach out to you. And I love everything you're doing, man. I appreciate you being on the show, okay?
No, for sure. And if there are any other hoopers out there that are doing things on a professional level, men and women players, you should get a woman player on here too, because they have interesting stories as well. Definitely tap in with the HoopGoon podcast. They're doing some great things. So make sure you guys tap in and share your stories and share your game, because we've been blessed to be a blessing. So make sure you give the game that you've been blessed with and reach back and help somebody else.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man. Hey, this is your boy AWOL with the HoopGoon podcast, and I'm only here because you don't want me to be here, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey, tap in. We love y'all, man. Have a good one. Mike Creppy will holler at you. Peace.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Broke out the brand new shoe. Yeah. Now watch the follow through. Yeah. Time to watch all my moves. Yeah. Highlights on the news. Yeah. Ain't never come a second, cause I got too much to do. I stay on my grind and you keep doing you. Turn it up, pressure's on the way. I refuse to fall, cause I practice every day. Turn it up, it's time to turn it.